Well, hello, Minecrafters. Today I have another monstrosity proof of concept to show here, and this time we're retrieving custom-made shulker boxes. For example, they might contain things to a specific task, like we've got one shulker box just filled with redstone components. You might have another one filled with colored concrete if you were going to make one of those garish monstrosities. But for example, so let's say we want to retrieve one from a distant base. You'll have to pretend that this track line is really long to some other part of the world. And in order to do that, again, we use a coded system. So I've got all the concrete in the orange shulker box. And so we're going to go ahead and use the orange wool as sort of the code saying, hey, I want this particular shulker box. So we send off the cart, and it goes and does its thing. And as you can see now, it is entering the bay. It's grabbing a box that was stored in the hopper. Then it's going to come out right back to where we were. Alright, so there's the box, and we can see it does contain a bunch of different things. I've only actually included 3 colors, but you can imagine that that might be filled with all kinds of different concrete. Okay, but this is not the unusual part. The unusual part is now that we've taken that shulker box, we've got the system automatically creating a new one. So what's happening here is this little minecart hopper is going around to the storage, picking up the various things it needs, and then depositing them down here so that this is now filling up to replace the shulker box that we took. And when it's got everything it needs, it's going to break this, push it into the hopper, ready to be grabbed by another request. In this case, however, we are getting specific things for this particular shulker box. So we've already done the orange concrete, now we're getting the green and the lime, and these are actually codes for how many stacks of items. So we're actually going to get 2 stacks of each. Some of the ones have already been used and being deposited, like this should be the green one that's getting now deposited into the shulker box. And so how this is working is this is a series of stacked minecart chests. I believe there's about 5 or 6 of them here. I don't remember, but they're just filled to the brim with a bunch of unsorted things. And what this hopper minecart is doing is pulling out the specific things that we're asking for using a filter system. And so just briefly how that works, in order to do this, what we do is we fill up the hopper with unstackable items like these swords and leave one thing open to grab specific items from the unsorted storage. And so what's happening is here, we'll do it from the start of a cycle. So this is finishing up, we're depositing. And what we're going to do is now we're going to grab the unstackable items, and then we go get our filter right there. And now we come and grab items from the storage, and then we return the unstackables. Now we return the filter up top here, and then finally we can go and deposit the items that we retrieved, and then the system can start over. We are at the end of the cycle now, and so this cart will then go return and stop there, and the filters will then be reset for the next wave around. And you can see I've got 3 different options here. Like I've got an option for redstone and rail components. Again, these would be a stack for every one of these components. And then I've just got some miscellaneous things here because they're smaller stack sizes and it goes quicker for demonstration. And so now the system is ready. We do have a complete shulker box. This one is a new fresh one to be filled when it's ready, but we got the completed one now in the dispenser ready for retrieval. And so that's the basics of the system. Now, this is a proof of concept. It's still a little rough around the edges. Like I probably can do some miniaturization down in this area, and there might be some slicker ways to do things as well. I did make a design choice here. We're not actually getting a full stack. We're getting a full stack minus 1 for everything that we ask for. And the reason is because that one item is the filter, which gets returned. Now, I did make a version where you do get a full stack, but the filter is not returned. It does make the system quite a bit simpler, but you have the downside of having to occasionally replenish the filters. And I figured we're going all the way with automation. We might as well go full-blown with it. And so I don't have a tutorial for this. Again, this is a bit of a monstrosity. But when I sort of clean this up and make it a little bit better, then I'll probably be able to see if I can make a world download or something a little bit more useful. So I'm going to go ahead and request one of the quick ones. Just as the video closes here, let's see, I believe the blue one is the miscellaneous items here, just with the stack size of 16. So we're just going to grab that, and now this should activate the system to create that shulker box. There's the cart. Let's grab the first filter and see these items get pulled out much quicker. And again, with the hopper minecart, it pulls things out very, very fast from the storage, which is one of the reasons I'm using it. And then, of course, I do have the hopper minecart embedded here because it sucks things out very, very fast. Again, just to try to keep the speed up. Now, I guess you could do this instead of using an unsorted storage where you just dump everything into one box. You could probably do this with a series of bays. I believe I've shown some videos where you could do that. That would make it a lot simpler, but it would make everything a lot bigger as well, since you'd need a bay for every single item that you wanted. And of course a brain to decide which one. So one of the advantages of doing it this way is that the system is much smaller. Not that this can really be classified small by any means. Well, okay. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see what I can do to clean up the design, and I'll just fly around here as the video closes.